Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A little bit of everything, all of the time.
Made him cut ties with his best friend Alan after he cheated on his wife. I told him I didn't want cheaters influencing our lives, and after a lot of arguing, he reluctantly agreed and distanced himself from Alan. Now, my best friend Cindy is neck deep in multiple affairs, and her marriage is crumbling. Instead of cutting her off like I made my husband do with Alan, I'm standing by her as she goes through this mess. My husband is furious, calling me out for being unfair and demanding I cut Cindy off, just like I forced him to do years ago. I explained that Cindy's situation is different. She regrets it and wants to fix her family, but he's not budging. This morning, he packed his bags and went to stay with his brother, telling me he feels completely betrayed, the same way Alan probably did. He called me selfish and doesn't understand why I won't cut Cindy out. I feel like he's being unreasonable, but he says this will destroy our marriage. Am I wrong for refusing?
Am I the a-hole for not backing up my family after my wife giggled at their news? At 17, my heart broke when I found out my girlfriend, who I'd known since kindergarten, had been cheating on me with my brother. We'd made our relationship official in high school, but after a year, my brother admitted they'd been seeing each other behind my back. What stung more was learning my parents knew, but thought it wasn't serious. Crushed, I moved out and focused on school. My ex tried apologizing, wanting to stay friends, but I cut her off. By 19, I left for Texas and rebuilt my life. 2 years later, I met Amara at her family's bakery. We bonded over trust issues, and before long, we were officially together. Her family adored me, and our wedding was perfect, even though my parents and brother didn't attend. Last week, my mom called. Amara and I were cooking, so I put her on speaker. My mom told me my brother and ex were getting married, and he wanted me to be his best man. The silence was thick until Amara laughed, and I couldn't help but join in. Mom hung up, and I didn't call back. The next morning, my phone lit up with angry messages, but I no longer.
Are your kids allowed to go in the fridge whenever they want? It was different for us, raising just one child, no siblings, no one to fight over snacks. But even with just her, we set rules. When she was little, we had a designated drawer in the fridge stocked with cut fruit and veggies, and a bin in the pantry with snacks she could grab anytime, even at midnight. As she grew older, the rules shifted. By 3rd grade, she could make her own fruit and sandwiches. Snacks like chips and sweets, those were rationed weekly. If she ate them all by Monday, tough luck. She learned to manage her portions quickly. By 12, she had to add her favorite snacks to the shopping list. If she forgot, she went without. At 15, we handed her a budget. Shampoo, snacks, and soda were her responsibility. She learned to shop alone, first with us watching, then solo. By then, she was cooking one family meal per week. Friends said we were harsh, forcing her to grow up too fast. But we believed in teaching her self-sufficiency through natural consequences. Now, she's in her own apartment, capable and confident. Maybe we were tough, but she's thriving, and that's what matters.
As a parent, what did your child's school do that made you say, "You can't be serious"? A few months ago, I received a call from my daughter's school to come in immediately. The dean tells me my daughter missed over 100 math classes. I blink, then say, "Wait, you're telling me now, on the second to last day of school? You didn't think to mention this before?" Silence. "So, this is to cover your tracks?" I demand answers from my daughter. "Why didn't you go to math?" She shrugs. "The teacher hates me. I wanted to see how long it'd take someone to notice I was missing." "When did you stop going?" I ask. October, and no one, not one person, noticed for 8 months? The dean awkwardly suggests canceling my daughter's ambassador trip. I stare. "You mean the one I fully paid for? No way." Then I hit them with the kicker. "You wrote her a glowing recommendation letter in January. If you'd done your job, you wouldn't have approved it." They stutter. "So she faces no consequences?" "Consequences?" I smirk. "She'll take night classes and make up every single missed credit." Later, my daughter protests. "How could you embarrass me like that?" "Embarrass you? You're lucky you're still on this planet." In the end, she aced the night classes, and even thanked me. And that math teacher? Gone the next year.
Guy gets to feel like a kid again instead of being seen as a creep. During lockdown, I'd often walk around my apartment complex to get out of the house. One day, while passing the playground, a soccer ball came flying toward me. Without thinking, I headed it back to the group of kids. Their eyes lit up. "Whoa, do it again," they shouted. I hesitated. Here I was, a 31-year-old bald guy with a beard, suddenly part of their game. "I don't know if your parents want you playing with a stranger," I said, backing off. Just then, I heard a voice from an open window. Their mom had been watching the whole time. "Feel free to play. I know you live across the hall," she called. With her approval, I joined in and ended up playing soccer for 2 hours. It felt amazing, like I was a kid again. Now, every Friday at 6 p.m., the kids knock on my door, ready for a new game. Last week we played freeze tag, and I even cheated by climbing a tree so they couldn't catch me. Their mom? She brings me homemade tamales every 2 weeks, refusing to let me pay. These moments with the kids have become the best part of my week.